The Refugee Olympic Team competed at the 2016 Summer Olympics in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, from 5 to the 21st of August 2016, as independent Olympic participants. In March 2016, the International Olympic Committee President Thomas Bach declared that the IOC would choose 5 to 10 refugees to compete at the Rio Olympics, in the context of the worldwide refugee crisis, of which the European migrant crisis is a prominent part. The athletes compete under the Olympic flag. Initially, they were labeled Team of Refugee Olympic Athletes, with the IOC country code ROA, but this was updated to Refugee Olympic Team with the country code ROT, as part of an effort to show solidarity with the world's refugees. The United Nations Refugee Agency selected Ibrahim al-Hussein, a Syrian refugee residing in Athens, Greece, to carry the Olympic flame through the Eleanor's refugee and migrant camp in the city as part of the 2016 torch relay. In addition, Kuwaiti athletes competed under the Olympic flag and the Independent Olympic Athletes title as a result of the suspension of the Kuwait Olympic Committee. The National Olympic Committee, team selection and funding. The IOC identified 43 potential candidates for inclusion in the team, with the final selection to take into account sporting ability, personal circumstances, and United Nations verified refugee status. In order to pay for athlete training, a fund of $2 million was created by the IOC. National Olympic committees were then asked to identify any displaced athletes in their countries who might be able to reach Olympic standard. An initial 3 athletes were identified as potential competitors for Rio. Yasra Mardani, a 17-year-old Syrian swimmer, who crossed from Turkey into Greece in an inflatable boat before crossing Europe by train through mainland Greece, the Balkans, Hungary and Austria to eventually reach Germany, where she now lives and trains. Rahela Samani, an Iranian taekwondo athlete training in Belgium, and judoka Popol Misanja, originally from the Democratic Republic of Congo but now living in Brazil. Mardani and Asemani have received IOC Olympic Solidarity scholarships. Asemani was later granted Belgian citizenship and has applied to compete instead for the Belgian team, with the International Olympic Committee President Thomas Bach saying that such permission was expected to be granted. Additional candidates were identified. Among refugees of the Syrian civil war, cyclists Ahmed Badr Wade and Nazir Jaza, and triathlete Mohamed Masu, and in Kakuma refugee camp in Kenya, where a support program run by former marathon world record holder Taylor Lorup identified 23 athletes. On the 3rd of June 2016, the IOC announced a team of 10 athletes would compete as part of the refugee team at the Games. Athletics. 4 men and 2 women will compete in the Games in the athletics tournament. Keynote ranks given for track events are within the athletes' heat only. Q equals qualified for the next round. Q equals qualified for the next round as a fastest loser or, in field events, by position without achieving the qualifying target. Near equals national record. NA equals round not applicable for the event. By equals athlete not required to compete in round. Nanometer equals no mark. Men track and amp road events, women track and amp road events, judo. 2 judokas were selected as part of the team, 1 male and 1 female. Both Popol Misanja and Yolanda Mabika are originally from the Democratic Republic of Congo but have been training in Brazil. Swimming. 2 swimmers were selected for the team, 1 male and 1 female. Rami Anis, originally from Syria but now training in Belgium, and Yasra Mardani, also originally from Syria but now living in Germany. An assistant coach, Kami Zagia, is also from Syria.